Is this forced? Like, am I forcing myself to do this? I don't feel especially motivated to talk, but maybe it's also true that I just need a little bit of time to get used to it. Talking doesn't really come naturally to me, I feel like. I think a decent amount at times, but when I say think, I mean like in terms of actual words. But when it comes to talking, I don't know. I mean, obviously, I'm used to another person being there, so just talking to myself is unusual and I guess uncomfortable. But I suppose it's not that bad actually. After I get into the flow of it a little bit, um, and I feel like that opens that like makes me wonder if that's kind of how it is for everything. Like, what if I really thought, um, I obviously know how to swim, but what if I really thought that I hated swimming, but in actuality, I just haven't really tried it. And when I did, it felt uncomfortable because that's the first time I've ever swam, dude. Like, yeah, it's gonna be uncomfortable, but what is the what is the force that motivates you to do something that's uncomfortable, that's like not fun? um I don't know. I mean, at least for me personally, and I feel like that's a tough question probably for a lot of people to answer, and that's probably why a lot of people don't do uncomfortable things. Me included. Like, this is new. This is uncomfortable. Really just a spur of the moment, like once every couple of years kind of thing, because I really don't have much else to do. Um, but yeah, I guess it's not that bad. Um, I just feel like my brain's a little bit rotted. I already want to say, let's make this an everyday goal, or let's make this this could be my thing. Let's maybe we can start journaling every day, and it almost feels a little brain rotty. I feel like I don't know. Maybe that's not the way that it goes when, like, I don't know, like let's say you looked at like somebody that just talked into the fucking mic all the time by themselves. Like, I feel like when they were starting, they probably weren't saying shit like that to themselves. They probably weren't like, oh yeah, like I gotta, this could be like good for me. Like, finally, this is what I was looking for. This is gonna be, um, this is gonna be my new thing. Like, I'm gonna be journaling every day. Like, this is what I should be doing. I feel like that is probably not what was going through the head of somebody who was starting and then became like an expert. If you get like the concept I'm trying to put down, I don't really know who you is, but who is you? Like, who? When I say like, if you get the concept, who is you? I don't know. I guess that's a thought that actually makes me a little uncomfortable, just because it's like, wait, am I doing this for nothing? Like, who am I talking to? Do I have to think of a potential audience when I'm talking? Maybe that's, I don't know. Maybe these are the kinds of things that I guess a viewer or somebody as part of the audience wouldn't think about. But obviously the creator, the caster, the guy, it's probably something that they encounter quite frequently. I'm just running around in DVD right now, while I talk. I'm searching a chest. Um, and I'm playing this game on like a modded build of the game that's very old. And I just searched the chest and I opened it and I've got nothing out of it. And I was gonna say, I wonder what I'm gonna get. I got nothing. Anyways, yeah, I guess I don't have much else to say on that topic. I wonder if this is how. I mean, I've had this thought before. I wonder if this is how people get like, And I feel like there's certain people that are very creative. I wonder if it's just because they've had a life where they have a lot of time to themselves and they just talk to themselves and they don't really ever be the viewer. They always got to make the entertainment. Maybe that's like how those sorts of people are born. And I wonder if those people are also correlated with schizophrenia, because I feel like that's I feel like that's something that probably could be plausible, or like insomnia, stuff like that. I'm sure it's not. I don't want to say sure, but I feel like that's plausible. I think Jesus, can I talk? I think that's a good way to put it. I think that would be a good way to put that. So yeah, I'd imagine. I mean, if I was gonna publish this, I don't know if I would, just because it's like, yeah, it's easier to do this when you're imagining. I mean, about the concept. All right, sorry. Let me restart this sentence. When I mentioned earlier, like, oh, I don't know, like who you is when I'm talking to the audience. It's almost easier actually for me to not imagine it as anyone in particular, anyone that I know. And that is because it feels awkward, dude. Like, imagine if I was let's say I was to publish on my YouTube channel. I have had this YouTube channel for many years, and probably many different people from various walks of life will at least like get notified that the video was uploaded, and they might even watch it. So it would be kind of weird for me to be imagining like, I don't know. I would imagine like some random person from my life that doesn't really know me necessarily. I don't know, and it would just be weird for such a person to hear me talking. So if I was to post this on YouTube, I don't know if it would be. Yeah, now that I actually ran through that idea in my head, I don't know if that would be on my regular channel, because that's just weird. I don't know if I like the concept of that. But I could see this as like a stream of consciousness kind of video, like just me talking into the mic might be relaxing for some people. It's easy to have little faith in like something uploaded to YouTube because there's so many videos, and it's true, but I don't know. I feel like even if just one person sees this, it's kind of cool. Like, I could make like a friend of sorts. And I only say that because I've been on like the viewer side. Like, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but YouTube has started pushing out recommendations of like random videos. I feel like this is something somewhat new, where there'll be like one view videos and you'll just randomly get it in your feed. And I like that idea. Like, it's always good to have the chance for random videos to go viral, I suppose, or just get some sort of viewership, so they don't get completely lost in the huge crowd of videos that YouTube probably has to deal with. But yeah, I probably would make it on a new channel. I don't want to. That would be weird. And then yeah, I mean, I'm recording this on my phone microphone while I'm playing the game on my computer, but I haven't been recording the footage for some reason. I guess I can actually do that right now. I'll just turn on the footage recording, but just turn off my mic, because obviously my mic from my phone will be used. The thing about, this is I actually don't know where I'm going with that. Well, I'm just gonna say it. The thing about recording my computer is that it is not a very high-end computer at all. It is using an integrated GPU, and that integrated GPU is very high-end. It's the best you can actually buy right now, but at the end of the day, it's still an integrated GPU. So when I am recording and playing the game, it sometimes goes below 60 FPS, which is when I'm playing DVD, my game on right now. It feels a little laggier than that, I won't lie. I don't know if there's anything I can do to remedy that. I actually might I'm gonna go in this my AMD software and see if I can turn on some sort of super resolution. Let's see. I don't know if that'll work. Let's see. I know that it works with the modern version of the game, but I'm playing an old version. Um, okay, that actually is a lot better. Cool. Although I don't think I just turned the resolution in game down, but I don't think my frame, my FSR is actually doing anything. Yeah, that's fine though. The game looks like actually like just as good with the frame gen on, and it runs like a lot better. So that's nice. I like that. I'm gonna keep this setting on from now on. It's a good setting. Game feels a lot better. I don't know how I was playing on it before. You almost wouldn't believe that this is 60 FPS because it feels so much better. Wow. There's no way this is 60. What? It feels amazing. Am I brain rot? I mean, I am on 144 hertz. To be fair, I don't know if that'll make it nicer even if it's 60 frames, but so smooth. Maybe I should play the main game on 60 frames. I feel like that could alleviate, because I on the main game, even with like my game scaled the fuck down, I still don't consistently hit 120 FPS and forget it if I'm recording or streaming on Discord. So that's actually something I could consider. Maybe I'll just play on 60. Because I feel like having a consistent 60 where you're like able to render more, just you have latency when you're barely hitting 120 or you're like hitting 100 to 110 and you're not quite reaching it. That can really fuck you up. And in a game like DBD, I mean, in really most games it's going to be a problem, but like DBD, you got to hit skill checks and shit, and when you have a varying frame rate, that can make it harder. Like that's something that I think any survivor that's taking the game seriously would have to keep in mind. So yeah, actually, after playing on 60 FPS right now, I think it's possible I might go back to 60 on the main game. But man, this old version dev build, I'm on 3.0 right now. The old movement was just so nice, but what are you gonna do? It was really nice. And I'm so good at it. Like, I played this game a lot during like this version, and it just comes right back to you. It's like, it's like an instrument you've played. Maybe not necessarily the sheet music, you might forget that, but like just if you play an instrument and it's like you just learned it by like hand and stuff, like that kind of shit mostly just comes back to you, and it's the same here. Like after like 1 minute, I'm like back into it as if I never left. And that's a good feeling, because it's fun. I mean, moving in this old version is really fun. I'm not gonna make any comparisons to the modern. I wouldn't say it's necessarily unfun in the new version, but I think most people would agree that there's just something about the old movement. Not even just something. I mean, it's pretty easily describable. It just feels a lot more fluid and really feels like you're on ice here, whereas it's a little more like controlled in the new version to have the animations look as smooth as possible, stuff like that. But it makes it feel a little bit less fluid, or like a little bit less like you are in control of exactly where your character is. Old DVD. Yeah. Although looking back at the game in like hindsight, I guess a lot of these textures might have been needed to be upgraded. I really do respect the old style of DVD though. I think if they permanently just went harder a little bit at least into the watercolor art style, the game might not have even needed like a modern refresh. I think consumers, to use this word, like consumers nowadays, I feel like don't really care as much about quality graphics, like in terms of realism, and more just like, I don't know. I think DVD. I think it would be interesting to see DVD with an art style that, maybe instead of the graphic rework they did, instead of like going the realistic direction and like the high quality asset direction, they could have just gone in like a little more cartoon style, not like a complete, fucking cell shading like style, just like a little harder into the watercolor shit they had going on. I thought that was really cool, to be honest. That would be an interesting idea for me to like work on. I would love to see like people's reactions to that, because I think it would open a lot of people's eyes probably to like, oh wow, like the game is a little drab now. I feel like we actually did miss out on some possibilities by not pursuing that style. It's very unique. But what are you gonna do? That would be fun. I mean, how would I even go about that? Probably, yeah, that would take a lot of work, and I'm frankly not interested. But cool idea for anyone that would be. Yeah, that I'm definitely no texture artist either. But that watercolor style is beautiful. I wonder if you had an AI do it, what people's reactions to that would be. They'd probably be like, "Oh wow, this looks like beautiful," and then I would say it's AI, and they'd be like, "Oh no, that's ugly," which I can then see the sentiment of. I'm just admiring these textures. They're actually quite beautiful. The little swatches of like colors. It's just cool. I think old DVD, it needs a bit of configuring, but once you do that and you know how to get the game to look a certain way, it's just beautiful. Like the turning anti-aliasing off through the config back in the day was always stupid. They didn't have an actual fucking option for it, but it looks so much better with anti-aliasing off. And then obviously on low settings, you'll want the game. DVD. DVD. Silly name. Yeah, like I'm just looking at this. Like, that's literally like watercolor. I have my resolution down. Let me turn it up for like a second, see what it looks like in HD. Yeah, I mean the textures, it's weird. That's really weird. It's like the textures have been downgraded a lot, the old DVD textures, and I'm wondering like why. Maybe it's because I'm on low settings actually. Let's see. If I turn it up to ultra, is that even gonna change it mid match? Probably not, right? I don't know. But yeah. I wonder, like, you could use AI to like upscale these textures, put it back in the game. I wonder what people would think. Dude, imagine if DVD had like texture pack support. Obviously, people would be like, "No, pink traps," but like, you get the idea. People actually used it nicely. That'd be beautiful. Or imagine they had like an authorized like creators shit. No, that wouldn't fly over with the comp people, but that would be cool. Wow. Yeah, if I have this footage up, I mean, I guess you'll see me just staring at these boxes. They look really nice. The lockers. Like, yeah, it looks a little more dated, especially just in terms of the models. Like, they didn't have as much depth, obviously. I guess I wanted to save on polygons, so a lot of the depth is just simulated and not very well at that. Like, you know, it's just old methods of doing it with, like, fucking normal maps and shit. But, like, I feel like they don't even do the normal maps that well. Like, it barely even appears as though it's sticking out. And, like, the height maps and shit. Yeah, I bet I could do. I mean, it looks good here under the light, but when it's kind of flat, it's like not convincing at all. Ooh. I wonder where this is getting power from. All right, down there, but like, it's not connected. It's not connected to anything. That shit's unplugged. Where is this light getting power from? Well, just another. Oh, I mean, there's one tube going in there, right? Or does that get cut off? I can't tell. It looks like it gets cut off though. So I don't know. Some weird shit going on here. And then they got this little like, what is this? Just wood. I don't know, like steel. More like broken pipes and the hook, of course. And now that I think about it, that's a weird spot for a lamp. All right, well, I guess I'll call it here. I'm getting tired, and I told Dave Buck, I told myself I'll pull an all-nighter because I've been on such a bad sleep schedule, but once you actually feel tired, then you're like, maybe I shouldn't. And I know that if I just take a nap, I'm gonna just keep sleeping. Like, there's no realistic way that I just take a nap. So I think I'm gonna chug caffeine and just get up and do something. All right, well, I won't be sleeping, but maybe this will help some of you sleep or just listen to audio in the background of your game or something. Yeah, I'm leaving now. I hope you enjoyed listening to me. If you did, let me know, because that would actually encourage me a lot. I don't know if anyone's going to listen till here, but that would be like super cool if somebody did. So, yeah, have a good one. Good night.